It's that time, guys. 600 or 1,000. What's up, Alphas? Analytical Alpha here, back again. And it's that time. It's that time to make the choice. The choice of devastation. As you see on the front, I have no front camera, no spam cards. Already taken out my my cell phone holder. Oh, would you look at that? Nope. Hey guys. And because in about 1 month's time I will be trading in the 2017 Honda CBR 300R, which I have a little bit less than 5,000 miles, and I will be getting either a Honda CBR 600RR or a Honda CBR 1000RR. So you guys are here to help me make that decision. 300, I love this bike. I have not had any issues other than yesterday. Yesterday it stalled on me. I think I had bad gas in it, and of course it decided to do this the day after I decide that I'm going to trade it in and get a different bike. So it knows I'm getting rid of them. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Life must go on. Alright, so we agreed to bypass the 500 and move up to the 600. Very straightforward, very simple. My mindset has been, okay, that makes perfect sense, because that's what a majority of people do. Go from a 250 or a 300 to a 600. Then we fell on the line of new or used. Well, we agreed with the concept of brand new, because 600 is the start of the super sports, and we all know people ride the shit out of their super sports. They treat it like it owes them money. Now of course they pamper it whenever it's time to cool down, but man, they ride the hell out of them. Very rarely do you see somebody saying they have a Honda 600 and they haven't been over 100 miles an hour. You see what I'm saying here? You just never truly know how people treated their motorcycle as a used one. So because of that, we agreed to go brand spanking new. Like that, with the 300, I am okay with something a year or two older if it means getting a better deal. But when I went on Cycle Trader, I typed in about the price range I'm looking. Well, not even the price range. I just looked up 600s. I even clicked on 1000s just for the heck of it. And I just clicked on new within about 150 miles of me, something like that. Maybe even 250, I can't remember now. So 600s were popping up for about $12,000. So that's just a smidgen more than what I was expecting. I was thinking maybe about 10.5, maybe even 11. So about $12,000 they're pulling up brand spanking new. But as I scrolled on, guys, the adventure became real. I then saw 2017 models Honda CBR 1000, gorgeous black with a red accent, for $10,000. I couldn't believe it. My mind was blown. I wasn't even thinking about 1000s, and then the itch came in. I was like, there's absolutely no way I can spend 12 grand on a 2019 600. Now, so let's look at this. Because of that, I did look even further, and I did find some 2018 600s. But the best deal I could find was about 8,500. Anyways, back to the normalcy of life before the creations of death protruded my lifestyle. Inconvenience, but so 600 and 1000. Here's my mindset of that. Yes, it is more a month. Yes, the insurance is going to be a little bit higher. Yes, the gas mileage isn't going to be as great. But the power, yeah, Now, I've talked to tons of people who have owned CBR 600s or just regular 600s in general, and I've talked to a few people who've had 1000s. They loved both of them. They didn't really have an issue with either one of them specifically. They did say that they did enjoy the 1000 more, speed-wise, of course, and of course how the 1000 felt more safe on the highway, and it felt more safe in the streets because of the low end power. Apparently the 600 is known for having plenty of power, anything that you would need max speed wise, but it looks like a majority of the power tends to kick in about 6,000 to 8,000 RPMs on almost any gear. So unless you're riding in 6,000 to 8,000 RPMs throughout the town, which of course you can do that. I mean, if you know your bike well enough to always stay within that rev range, then you're perfectly fine. But you're also looking at lack of gas mileage because you're running relatively high revs for a long period of time, and then of course you kind of just have to stay there just to make sure if anything were to go down, you've got that quick accessible power to power out of a situation. Now of course that's the type of power that almost doesn't even exist on something like this. Now if I have some type of power, I mean, I'm still going to do what I can if I see something coming towards me, but you know, it is what it is. Now the 1000, it looks like you can feel a relatively decent amount of power between 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs. So if it meant me being low 3,000 RPMs while riding around town at all times, getting good gas mileage, or the best gas mileage that I can really try to get for 1000, and still have the accessibility of power to power out of a bad situation, then when you put it down on paper, it seems like that's the more logical choice. Plus, we have to be honest with ourselves, especially the 2017 Honda CBR 1000. It now has 3 different modes. So I believe mode 1 uses about 60% of the power, something like that. So, which I'd imagine mode 2 is probably relatively closer to a Honda CBR 600 power. But I mean, because I'm going from a 300, obviously I need to keep it in mode 1 so I'm not accessing the full power until I gradually build and understand and to appreciate and truly deserve the full power of the 1000, and gradually build up from there. You know, when it comes to the 600, you can't do that. Now you can be mature and you can slowly move up, which of course that's what I would do if I got a 600. Slowly but surely, just use a little bit more throttle until I feel the pockets of my particular bike, and fill it in from there. But it's all going to be on me specifically in regards to, you know, for any reason whatsoever, accidentally flick the wrist on the 600, then, you know, I'm gone type of deal. You know, there's a wheelie. Of course I don't do wheelies. Yeah, but that is my dilemma, people. Oh, my cheese and crackers. My dilemma is figuring out... Oh, come on, car. Just go ahead and pass them. Thank you. Now we'll go ahead and pass the car while I'm at it. Alrighty, so that is my dilemma, guys. 600 or the 1000. And of course it's going to be more expensive for the 1000 overall, but I feel like I'll be able to bring more realistic content for you guys with the 1000, due to the simple fact of being able to show what it's like to be on a 100% leader bike, all the tips and tricks that I tend to learn as I go. And now, of course, I try to be as realistic with you guys as possible. So of course I'll talk numbers if you ever have idea of them in the future, and going from there. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a 600, if you have a 1000. Tell me what you think about it. if you ever were put in a decision like what I'm in right now, if you ever had this little deciding, or if you've got a 600 and you're deciding about a 1000, why are you deciding it? What about your 600 is making you feel as if you want to go to a 1000? I got the 600. I honestly don't think I would feel like I would absolutely have to have the 1000, just because I knew that I would have enough power to do basically anything that I would really want to do. But on the other side of me, there would be like that little tiny inkling of me telling myself, well, there is something with more power in the same class range, and it's something that I definitely love. That 2017 Honda CBR 1000, man, it has a special spot in me for some reason, and a lot of it has to do with that 25th anniversary emblem going on. To me, I know there will never be anything produced again with that emblem until we get to like 50th anniversary or something to that nature. But those came out specifically with those emblems, and that's the way that they're gonna be. I mean, I think they're gonna be considered a very special novelty style or antique style later on down the road. And I know when it comes to 1000, I'll never really need anything else with more power. Eventually I may get a cruiser, to where I have a cruiser for another aspect of life and just relax and intend to enjoy the ride, and then have the 1000 for the energetic moments that I want to kick up to. So man, I'm so torn. So guys, if you've got a 600, let me know how you feel about it right now. Let me know if you've thought about getting a 1000, and what's up to you make that decision to do it or not do it. If you got a 1000, let me know if you miss your 600, if you're happy that you pulled the trigger, everything along that nature. I want to make sure that my decision is 100%, because it's going to be the motorcycle I have for you guys. It's what I'm going to be riding. It's what you guys are going to be seeing. It's what I'll be eventually modding up, so you'll be able to go based on reference of that. So things like that, and we'll go from there. So Analytical out. So it was, is he just telling me to slow down? Why is he telling me to slow down? He doesn't even know what type of speed I was going. Speed limit's 45 and I was going 55. These cruisers and their rules of the road. Oh, this may be why. Wow. Oh, okay. Well, now I feel like a dick. So, there's that. Yeah, he was 100% telling me to slow down for this. Oh, I feel so bad now. Poor guy. I hate it when people do that, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an animal. You probably couldn't help it. Probably jumped out in front of you. It is what it is. But you know you hit it. There's no guesswork in that. You know for a fact that you hit the animal. If it's like a squirrel, sure, you know, just leave it. It's probably not going to affect anything other than bikers, so, you know, no one cares about us anyway. But, man, it's a deer. I mean, it's literally large enough to ruin everyone's life.